Well, for the first time in many weeks, Dolton trustees and Mayor Tiffany Henyard held a public meeting together, but not at Village Hall.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both.
Oh boy, things are getting absolutely wild in Dolton, Illinois, and Mayor Tiffany Henyard is right at the heart of the storm. You won't believe the drama that went down at a recent village trustee meeting. Picture this: a public official dressed in a solid gold blazer, standing before the board and demanding exactly $619. Yes, you heard that right, $619. And the way she went about it? Let's just say it was nothing short of a spectacle.
You are a clown. We will continue to speak out against wrongdoing.
Why won't you step?
Let's set the stage. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, already making headlines for her controversial decisions in Dolton, walks into this meeting with one goal in mind: getting her money back. But why was she so desperate for $619? That's the real question. One thing is for sure, though: the way she went about collecting it had the entire room buzzing. Never one to shy away from the spotlight, Tiffany strutted into the meeting wearing what can only be described as a solid gold blazer. Can we take a moment to appreciate the sheer drama of it all? Who wears a gold blazer to a village meeting? If you didn't know better, you'd think she was heading to a red carpet event, not a budget discussion. But that blazer was just the beginning. Tiffany didn't kick things off with an agenda about village finances or a grand plan to fix Dolton's budget crisis. Nope. Instead, she launched into a personal vendetta, demanding $690 from trustee Tammy Brown. "I want my money back," she practically shouted, making it clear she wasn't leaving without it. It was like watching two people argue over a restaurant bill, except this was happening in an official government meeting. And it wasn't just the begging that had people talking. Tiffany came prepared with receipts. Well, sort of. She claimed that the $619 was supposed to come from a fund allocated for trustee training. Apparently, there's a $10,000 budget for training that no one has actually seen, and Tiffany wanted her cut. Her $619 was nothing compared to the tens of thousands she claimed others were spending. It turned into a full-on showdown, with Tiffany demanding answers about why her money wasn't being handed over. "You are a clown," she yelled. "We will continue to speak out against wrongdoing. Why won't you step down?" But here's where it gets even juicier. Tiffany wasn't just demanding her money. She was calling out the entire financial situation of the village. She accused the trustees of spending thousands on unnecessary expenses, while essential services were being neglected. According to her, village employees had been sitting around for months with nothing to do because their internet and email access had been cut off. Yet, despite this, the trustees were still approving massive payments to an IT company. Tiffany was not having it. She pointed to an invoice from the trustee's lawyer, a staggering $136,500, and compared it to her measly $619. In her mind, the math just wasn't adding up. But it wasn't just the IT company or the lawyer fees that had Tiffany fired up. She also took aim at the village's spending on lavish events, claiming that while basic services were being cut, the trustees were throwing extravagant parties and paying for unnecessary luxuries. One event in particular had her especially frustrated: the recent Valentine's Day celebration. According to Tiffany, it cost thousands of dollars in overtime pay for police officers who were pulled from their normal duties just to serve as her personal security detail. "We can't afford this," she said, her frustration clear. And yet they're throwing parties while the rest of us are trying to keep the village afloat.
Raising a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested.
And speaking of police officers, Tiffany wasn't done with her criticism there either. She claimed the trustees had been using the police force for their own personal agendas. ordering officers to follow and harass their political enemies. According to Tiffany, the former police chief even admitted he was instructed to target certain individuals at the trustees' request, which she called a gross misuse of power. "This isn't what the police are for," she said, shaking her head. "They're supposed to protect and serve the community, not be puppets for the trustees." But Tiffany didn't stop at just making accusations. She made it crystal clear that she had plans to clean up what she called the mess in Dolton. She announced her intention to bring in outside auditors to comb through the village's finances with a fine-tooth comb and expose any misuse of funds. "We need transparency," she declared, promising that once she uncovered the truth about the village's financial issues, she would hold everyone responsible accountable. It was a bold statement, one that surely rattled her opponents.
Leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now...
And she didn't stop there. Tiffany also accused the trustees of hiring her personal attorney as the village's official attorney. Yes, you heard that right. She claimed that her own lawyer had somehow landed the job, making the whole situation look even more suspicious. It was like a soap opera, except instead of secret love affairs, we've got secret lawyer hirings. But let's get back to the $619. Tiffany wasn't about to let that go. She repeated it over and over. $619. It was as if that number had become her personal mantra. The way she kept bringing it up, you'd think the entire village's budget crisis was hanging on that one amount. "I want my money back," she demanded. "Give me my $619. And the whole time, she was rocking that solid gold blazer like it was nobody's business.
Finger to Tiffany or allow me, I'm over it. Now it's time.
At one point, Tiffany even made a motion to remove Tammy Brown from the warrant list, all over $619. It was like watching a reality TV show where contestants vote each other off the island. Except this was real life, and the stakes were much higher than just winning a game. Tiffany made it clear she wanted that money, and she wasn't backing down until she got it. And it wasn't just Tiffany who had people talking. The residents of Dolton were chiming in too. One commenter summed it up perfectly. "So let me get this right. Employees sitting around on the clock with nothing to do is another reason they're cutting labor and sending people home." It was a harsh take, but it showed that Tiffany's claims about the village's management were striking a nerve with some people.
Special board meeting because business has not gotten done at 2 previous meetings, so that's some progress there, but this meeting was not without its fair share.
Another fan pointed out the irony of Tiffany making such a fuss over $609 when there are rumors that she spent nearly $500,000 on her mom's driveway. Maybe they should have told her to pay back that damn near $500,000 she supposedly spent on her mom's driveway, one comment read. Yikes, if that's true, it definitely puts her $609 plea into perspective. But let's not forget, this isn't the first time Tiffany's been in the hot seat. Her entire tenure as mayor has been filled with controversy, from allegations of misusing taxpayer funds to reports of lavish spending on parties and events. Tiffany's name has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons, and now there's even talk of her facing eviction from her home. Can you believe it? The mayor of Dolton, who reportedly makes well over $300,000 a year, is allegedly being evicted for not paying rent. Her landlord, Janetta Hull, has been telling anyone who will listen that Tiffany and her boyfriend haven't paid rent since August, and she's had enough.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments.
According to Hull, Tiffany and her boyfriend Kamal Woods owe more than $5,000 in back rent. And get this, they even changed the locks on the house so the landlord can't get in. Sounds like something straight out of a bad movie, right? Hull said she's been trying to serve eviction papers, but Tiffany and Kamal have been dodging them at every turn. The whole situation is a mess, only adding to Tiffany's growing list of problems. But here's where things take an even crazier turn. Tiffany isn't just facing eviction. She's also under federal investigation. That's right. The FBI has reportedly been looking into her spending habits, both as the mayor of Dolton and as the supervisor of Thornton Township. There are allegations that she's been using village funds for personal expenses, including luxury travel and extravagant dinners. And let's not forget the infamous $433,000 she allegedly spent on Amazon in a single day. That's right, $433,000 on Amazon. What could she possibly have been buying?
Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she...
It all comes down to power and money. This growing scandal has sparked a movement to oust Tiffany from office. Many residents are fed up with her leadership, and some are even calling her the worst mayor in America. Ouch, that's gotta sting. But despite all the drama, Tiffany isn't backing down. In fact, she's already announced that she's running for re-election. Can you believe it? She's facing eviction, a federal investigation, and a financial crisis in the village. Yet she's still determined to fight for another term. And that's the thing about Tiffany. She's a fighter. Love her or hate her, you have to admit, she's not going down without a fight. Even as critics pile on, calling her out for everything from her spending habits to her handling of village meetings, Tiffany remains defiant. She's promised to expose all the corruption she claims is happening in Dolton, and has even vowed to press charges against her political opponents. Whether she has actual evidence to back up these claims remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, Dolton is in for a wild ride in the coming months. It's a power grab, a fight for power and money. So, what's next for Tiffany? Will she manage to hold on to her position as mayor, or will the growing chorus of critics finally bring her down? And what about that 619? Will she ever get it back from Tammy Brown? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure. This story is far from over. In the meantime, what do you all think? Is Tiffany just trying to do her job and getting unfairly criticized? Or is there something shady going on behind the scenes? And seriously, what's the deal with that $619? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates on the wild world of Dolton politics.